So hello my friends, Devon Lennox here, PhotographyPX. In today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks with using our Fashion Series Lightroom presets. All right, so here we are, Adobe Lightroom CC 2017. I don't have the newest version of Adobe Lightroom. I apologize, guys. Have not updated in quite a long time. So, but here we are in Adobe Lightroom. We have a photo loaded up. This is a photo that I've showed you guys some techniques in the past. Just happened to have it here in Lightroom when I got ready to record this tutorial. So I kind of figured I'd show you guys some of the tips and tricks with actually using the Fashion Series Volume 1 Lightroom presets. Now, I just recorded a video on how to import these presets. I've also recorded a video on, I guess, a little bit of kind of workflow when it comes to color grading, stuff like that. So the combination of those two videos will provide some insight on what I'm gonna cover and show you guys today. But ultimately, I'm just gonna kind of walk you guys through a little bit of the presets, how they were made, maybe some considerations and a couple of tips. So when you guys download the Fashion Series Volume 1, if you choose to download it, if you like some color grading presets, you will have them imported more than likely into your user's preset folder here in the Develop module of Adobe Lightroom. We're in the Develop module, and we're over here in the Presets window on this left-hand side panel. So to apply one of these presets, you simply tap to have the adjustment be applied to the image that's currently selected. But one thing I do want to say is that don't apply multiple presets over each other. It typically gives you results that you're not going to want. And you know, as crazy as this sounds, this was not something that I knew in the beginning. I always thought it was just gonna not do that. But for some reason, it depends how people create custom presets for Adobe Lightroom, but depending how you create the presets, it doesn't always overwrite all the settings. So when you're applying multiple presets one after the other, some of the effects and changes that were previously made that weren't a part of that specific preset actually stay on the image. And overall, that changes the effectiveness and the overall color that gets applied from the preset. So what you guys have to do is, if you're gonna be using these presets, is essentially kind of render your image. Don't have any adjustments in Lightroom at all. Basically what you want to do is import the image into Lightroom, hit reset so it's completely blank canvas. There's nothing going on in the tone curves. There's nothing going on in the basics panel. All of this stuff is at 0. None of these sliders have moved at all. There's no adjustments. And then start applying the presets. If you don't like the way it looks, do Command or Control Z and then undo it to go back to the default state and then apply the next preset. So I didn't know that. Honestly, I did not know that. I was applying Lightroom presets, just kind of going chronologically down the list, and I was like, why am I not getting the colors that the presets have shown in the examples? That's why. You need to apply them from basically a standard or baseline, a 0, no adjustments. So do that first and foremost. Next, if you're looking, okay, I'm gonna kind of go through these and see. These are all black and white down here. I don't want any black and white. Yeah, we'll say maybe, yes, let's do this one. Okay, so you're just like, okay, well, oh, I like the colors of this one. Now what you have to do to ultimately change or adjust it to your needs, after applying the preset, you just click Command Z if you don't like that one. But once you find one that you do like, from here, the main things that as far as tips and things of that nature, that I want you guys to focus on is really gonna be messing with the presence down here, ultimately. And then some of the HSL things down here, and then as well as maybe turning on and off the split toning, okay? Now, the main reasons I want you guys to focus on that and why that's important, because that's ultimately going to allow you to adjust these presets to your skin tones of the model that you have in the photo. And this, like I said, these presets were originally made for a certain type of photo. If you're not applying them to that same type of like beauty, there's not a lot of other colors besides just the model itself. Very simple makeup, things of that nature. If you're applying it to something that has a lot more color, it doesn't work as effectively, so you have to make some finer adjustments. So with that, I want you guys to focus on vibrance, Like for me, I thought like for this particular image, 15 was too high, so I would go down to 0. And I actually I'm going to do a, maybe an A and B so that we can see some of the adjustments that I'll make. So I'll reduce some of the vibrance. That's the standard image. This is with the color grading. Yes, okay, it's a little bit more warm. So I'll reduce the vibrance. I think the saturation is a little bit too high too, so I'd kind of desaturate. All right, and then we can go over here and then see the before and after, so yes. And outside of that, I would also play around with the HSL as well. Mostly saturation. If you want more saturation back in the model's skin, you can go ahead and do that. And then also here as well, but I want it to be more desaturated. So that right there would be the main thing to change from the preset. Outside of that, also maybe disabling split tone. Split tone is what gives you that color cast, so you can change it to whatever color that you want. Play around with that as well, and then just decrease the saturation. Yeah, because that split tone I applied was to add a certain color cast to that image that originally was used to create these presets. So play around with that as well, so don't leave that. That is super important. So those would be kind of the tips when it comes to, I guess, kind of tailoring these particular presets, this preset pack to your specific images. Outside of that, it's pretty much just plug and play. Play around with the settings here in Lightroom when it comes to the basics panel, the tone curve, just a little bit of adjustments on there. You may not need to play around with that, but mostly just the HSL, the split toning, and that bottom section right here of presence. The highlight shadows for the most part should be good on all of your images, but yes, play around with that if you guys think that it needs a little bit of adjustments. I didn't do anything else with transforms and effects and all this other stuff. So yes, those are the areas that you guys should adjust. Remember to hit Command Z when you apply the presets so that you can undo and go back to a clean slate so it doesn't have some weird adjustments that are basically carrying over. But yes, those would be my tips on using the Lightroom presets, the Fashion Series Volume 1. Check them out. Like I said, in the other video showing you guys how to install these, you know, I am the one sending you guys these emails, so I won't be spamming you. Long story short, please, for the love of God, I won't be spamming you guys. So if you guys want them, by all means, free download, let me know. Holler at a brother right here. So my name is Devon Lennox, PhotographyPX. If you're new here, my friends, please consider subscribing. Check out some of the other videos that we have down in our video library here on the PhotographyPX YouTube channel. If you're also new here and you like this kind of content, hit us up with a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have any other kind of tips, or what are your kind of questions or your thoughts on this. Did you know that you had to do Command Z? Did you know that you should restart or reset before applying a preset? I didn't know that. So I hope that added some value and some insight on that front. But we will see you in the next video. I hope this was helpful, my friends. Until next time, Devon Lennox here signing out.